Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Agyarti Mirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagala Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostate Taptakanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So 11th chapter, Aspects of Transcendental Science, 1.2.183 onwards. अथ दास्यं कर्मार्पणं तस्य कैङ्कर्यम् अपि सर्वथा. दास्यं कर्मार्पणं, acting as a servant. 87th verse speaks about it. So what is the meaning of dasyam? Offering the results of the prescribed duties and acting as a menial servant of the Lord. Offering the results. Suji Goswami's commentary. Offering the results of prescribed varnashrama actions, karmarpanam, is considered by some to be dasyam. But what is Rupa Goswami's opinion? Only kainkaryam, acting as menial servant, is considered dasyam. So one should identify oneself as a servant of Lord. So here both the aspects have been taken into account. Offering the results of the prescribed duties is also dasyam. Offering menial service to the Lord is known as dasyam. Kainkaryam, that's also known as dasyam. Okay. Now here, dasyam mentioned by Sri Dhama means being in the position of a servant, according to Sridhar Swami. The Sridhar Swami's commentary is kainkaryam, being a servant, performing actions, being a servant. Now somebody is offering the fruits of their karma, but that doesn't mean that he need be he is a dasyam. He can be a dasyam, no doubt. That is one of the aspects of dasyam. But without menial service, how can that person be qualified as a servant? You are giving some charity. No doubt it is also an act of dasyam. According to Jiva Goswami, that is dasyam. But Rupa Goswami, Sridhar Swami, they very clearly say menial service has to be performed if he is a dasyam. So when he is performing menial service, automatically he will offer the fruits of his prescribed duties also. So both the things are taken into account. So when a person is offering menial service, he will give whatever he gets to the spiritual master or the Lord. So in this way, if you perform menial service, both are there. But if you just give the fruits of your prescribed duties, that is one of the aspects of dasyam. So it is a very important aspect in this. Life after life, may I have love, friendship, sympathy, and service. That is also dasyam. Dasyam is in the bhava of love, friendship, sympathy, service. All these four are there. Okay, Gadadhar Prabhu, 183 is the first paragraph. Read. Gadadhar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Madhai, Dandatam. Further aspects of transcendental service, chapter 12, hearing the revealed scriptures. According to Sri Rupa Goswami,
Chapter 11, no? Or 12?
Yes.
11
So
or
now-
12?
Huh?
Chapter 11 or 12?
11.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, very good. 12 today. 11.
Sorry, Mataji.
Yeah.
Aspects of transcendental service, chapter 11, servitorship. In the opinion of the karmis, fruity workers, offering the results of karma is called servitorship. But according to Vaishnava Acharya, like Rupa Goswami, servitorship means constant engagement in some kind of service to the Lord.
So, two aspects are there. One is just giving the fruitive results of the fruitive activities. Another is constantly serving, doing all the menial service, constantly engaged. That is service. Okay, now 184, 85. Then 84, 85 are there in the second para. 84.
Can I
तत्र
continue?
आद्यं यथा स्कन्धे तस्मिन् समर्पितं कर्म स्वाभाविकम् अपि स्वरे भवेद् भागवतो धर्मस्तत्कर्म किम् उतार्पितम्. So the first type, offering prescribed duties, is described in Skanda Purana. That is also considered dasyam. Jiva Swami says. That is given in the Skanda Purana. Prescribed duties according to one's nature, offered to the Lord, becomes Bhagavad Dharma. What to speak of then of the actions of bhakti dedicated to the Lord alone? Now, prescribed duties offered to the Lord, whatever duties, Varna Ashrama Achrataha Purushena Paraparama Vishnu Aradite Pantana Tatosha Karanam. For his satisfaction, performing the prescribed duties, whatever fruits, whatever results are there, offering him. So that is known as Bhagavad Dharma. And the question arises, what to speak of then the actions of bhakti? That means complete dedication, complete love. What to speak if it is done only for Krishna? So even Varnashrama action, karma svabhavikam, offered to the Lord, becomes Bhagavad Dharma. Then what to speak of tat karma, doing the actions for him, where hearing, chanting, all comes. Now first is offering the prescribed karma, prescribed duties. If a person is offering the results of his prescribed duties to Krishna, that becomes Bhagavad Dharma. Atha pumbir dvija shrestha varnashrama vibhagasha swanishthita dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. For his satisfaction, performing, giving everything to Krishna, offering the prescribed duties. But if a person does it with love, bhakti means love. So with that love, if he performs bhakti, hearing, chanting, then what to speak? That is known as tat karma. Now, 185th. Karma swabhavikam bhadram japa dhyanarchanadicha itidam dividham krishne vaishnavate dasyam arpitam. Vaishnaver dasyam arpitam. There are two categories of Varnashrama dasyam offered to the by the Vaishnavas to Krishna. Offering the auspicious among the prescribed actions according to one's nature, and offering only actions such as japa, meditation, and deity worship. Now let us mute your phone, Prabhu. Only when you read, unmute your phone. So here there are two categories of the Varnashrama dasyam. First is what? Offering auspicious among, you are performing a lot of prescribed actions. In that, whatever is auspicious, you are offering to Krishna. Another is what? Offering only actions such as japa, meditation to Lord. Other things are not offered. Whatever prescribed actions, from morning to night, we are performing duties. In that, selecting certain things and offering to Lord. That means keeping Lord in the center and doing that activity. Other things are not offered. One is only offering whatever is auspicious to Lord. Only offering japa meditation to Lord. Now, bhakti means keeping Lord in the center, doing all the activities. Right from your sleep, right from your waking up, right from everything is offered to Krishna. Whatever you are doing, prescribed activities contains nitya karma, every day what you are doing. Naimitika karma and kamya karma. Naimitika means sometimes you do. Kamya karma means whatever you desire. This all you must have studied when 2.47th verse you must have studied. Nitya karma means every day you are doing. You're brushing your teeth every day. You're taking bath every day. Nitya, every day you do. For which the expectation of the results from the karma is not more. Like every day you have to, you are cooking for your child. You're not expecting much. That is your nitya karma. Every day you're doing, for which much results are not expected. You're doing it. So if it is done as a nitya karma for Krishna, then that is bhakti. Naimitika means you do sometimes, or you select something. It is done sometimes in emergency, like you go and visit your friend. You help him in his need. That is all naimitika, for which there is an expectation, a written expectation. Kamya is what you like. I like certain things to do. That is kamya. I may like certain things. I may choose this is auspicious, this is inauspicious. I like to do certain things. So I will select certain things and give to Krishna. That is my desire to give to Krishna. So among the three, if you see Nitya, Naimitika and Kamya, Nitya is the topmost. You cook every day for Krishna, you dress him every day. You love him every day. In that, expectation is less. He is one of your family member. That is why you are doing every day. Every day you are hearing, every day you are chanting. It's nothing like one day I sit and chant. Every day that is there. For which, what is your expectation? What you are getting out of it? Don't know. A person does that. Why is he waking up early in the morning? Why is he playing Krishna? Don't know. That is my work bus. Why are you feeding your child? Don't know. Do you know that the child is going to take care of you in your old age? I don't know. He may kick me out also. He may take care of me, he may kick me out. So when a mother feeds the baby and a father looks after the child, mother looks after the child, so the parents don't expect anything. That is love. So bhakti means love. That is tat karma. Understand it very nicely. That is known as tat karma. For him, let me do it nitya. And that is karmanyevadhikaraste mahaphaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangosto karmani. That is tat karma where Krishna tells. That is not, oh, I have done my duty. If you have done my duty, then you should be paid for it. Sometimes parents say, I have done my duty. Every duty has to be paid. Because if you go to office, you're performing your duty, then naturally you're going to be paid. If the boss says karmanyevadhikarasya, you'll slap him, isn't it? After taking work for 1 month, and if he tells you karmanyevadhikarasya mahaphaleshu kadachana, you're going to slap him. So that is not that this verse is not for love. This verse is not for some duty where results are expected. Karmanyevadhikaraste is for that duty which is done out of love. That is why that is not duty, that is love. And that is nitya karma. If you read that paragraph very carefully, nitya karma has been emphasized. And that is tat karma. That is the karma for Krishna. So there are two types of offering obligatory actions to Varna Ashrama. Swabhavikam here means impressions attained from previous lives. So whatever impressions that gives a particular identity in the Varnashrama system. Among those actions prescribed by these identities, by those that identity, only those that are auspicious are offered to the Lord and not others, such as cleaning oneself with earth after passing nature. Now, is that are going to be offered to Krishna? So only auspicious things are offered. Now, as well, japa, other spiritual actions which are part of Varnashram are also offered to Krishna. If the Vaishnava offers these two types of actions, that is known as dasya. So here, Jiva Goswami says, you offer whatever auspicious only to Lord. Now you go and take bath, you pass stool. That is also action only. Will you offer it to Lord? No. You are selecting what the actions which are very auspicious, that is given to Lord. So that is known as dasyam. You select. And a person performing activities in the Varnashrama, then that person is doing that activities according to the previous life impressions. That is why he is born in a particular type of Varna or Ashrama. Okay. Then 180, 185 is also over. Read further, Gadadhar Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. In the Skanda Purana, it is said that those who are attached to ritualistic activities, the four orders of social life and the four orders of spiritual life are considered devotees. But when devotees are actually engaged in offering service to the Lord directly, these must be Bhagavatas or pure devotees. Those who are engaged in putti activities or prescribed duties according to the four orders of social and spiritual life are not actually pure devotees. But still, because they are offering the results to the Lord, they are accepted as devotees. When one has no such desire but acts spontaneously out of love of God, such a person must be accepted as a pure devotee. The conditioned souls who have come into contact with the material world are all more or less desirous of lording it over material nature. The system of varnashrama and the prescribed duties under this system are so designed that the conditioned soul may enjoy in the material world according to his desire for sense gratification and at the same time gradually become elevated to spiritual understanding. Under these prescribed duties of Varna and Ashrama, there are many activities which belongs to devotional service in Krishna consciousness. Those devotees who are householders accept Vedic ritualistic performances as well as the prescribed duties of devotional service because both are meant for satisfying Krishna. When householder devotees perform some Vedic ritualistic duties, they do so to satisfy Krishna. As we have previously discussed, any activity aiming at satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead is considered devotional service. Can I continue,
Like
Mataji?
offering water to sun god. That is ritualistic activity. Devotee does that. Why? He's asking for good health so that he can serve Govinda very nicely. And then there he is not even asking anything. Devotional service, you should not ask also anything. You are doing to chant this verse, Yachakshuresha Savita Sakala Grahana. While chanting that verse, you are understanding the position of the sun god with Govinda. What is his position? Brahma's prayers. It is just done. There is nothing asking something behind it. It is just done. Or even if you're asking also good health for you, for your family members, that is to serve Krishna more nicely. So even if a ritualistic activity is done by a grahastha devotee, that is done for serving Krishna more nicely. That has been emphasized here. So dasyam contains offering auspicious activities to Krishna. That is one aspect of dasyam. Offering the fruits of the activities to Krishna. That is also another aspect of dasya. So in this way, 184, 185, Two things are given. And then choosing what is auspicious, offering that. Offering certain particular activities like japa meditation to Lord. Okay, 186th now. Turn 186. मृदु श्रद्धस्य कथिता स्वल्पा कर्माधिकारिता तद् अर्पितं हरौ दास्यम् इति कैश्चित् उदीर्यते. Some persons say that this offering of duties by a person with weak faith in bhakti and a slight qualification for prescribed duties is called dasya. Now, see, another meaning of dasya has been given. What do some people say? Offering of duties by a person with weak faith in bhakti is not having that strong faith. He is not doing everything for Krishna. He is not remembering Krishna all the time. Weak faith is there. And slight qualification for prescribed duties. He has some qualification. Now, japa, meditation, they are all angas of pure devotion service. They are angas. Now, there is a person offering the auspicious items among the prescribed duties. Now, when he is offering auspicious items, that is not angas of devotion service. Now, we had learned 64 limbs. In the 64 limbs, nowhere this is mentioned that you choose auspicious activities and give it to Lord. No, that is not considered as anga. So here it is said, some people call this offering with weak faith as dasyam. They call, but that is actually weak faith is there. So here it is said, this is very different from the offerings of real dasya. What is the meaning of real dasya? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So there, what is the real meaning of dasya? Offering everything to Krishna is dasya. If you have weak faith in Lord, will it be considered as dasya? That is a question asked. So Jiva Goswami says, that cannot be considered as dasya. He may be qualified to perform varnashrama system, but he doesn't have that strong faith in Krishna. He is not having that. His shraddha is very komala, very weak shraddha. He doesn't have faith. So that is not coming in the category of dasyam. That is why Rupa Goswami says dasya means performing kainkeryam. Even offering is also there, but that offering should be with strong faith, not with weak faith. That is why choosing auspicious thing and offering to Krishna is not approved. Though it's not approved as a limbs of devotional service. It may be in one of the aspect of dasyam, one of the features of dasyam, but it is not considered as the limbs of devotional service. You should understand it very nicely. Limbs of devotional service means what are the things by which one can serve Krishna very nicely or remember Krishna very nicely. Hearing, chanting, going to dhambas, taking shelter of the spiritual master, all these things were the limbs, 64 limbs of devotional service. In the dasyam is there, but that dasyam mein, what is there that we have to see. It is not just offering your prescribed results of your prescribed duties. That is there, but that should be with strong faith. You cannot just choose something and give. Some people choose also, choose some auspicious things and give. But how they give, that is with strong faith, not with weak faith. That has to be given with a strong faith. But again, choosing something, giving to Lord is not again considered as a limbs of devotional service. That means other things I will not do for Krishna. Devotional service means totally dedicated for Krishna. You are not forgetting Krishna even for a single moment. So that has been given. It's a little bit complicated, but if you contemplate on it, then it is easy. Like your servant. What should a servant do? Servant doesn't have any choice. That is why when you say dasyam, it is not just servant, it is slave. Slave doesn't have any choice. In the same way, servant means at that level of slavery, one has to be surrendered to Krishna, where he has given everything. Karmarpanam, samarpanam, everything has been given to Krishna. That is dasyam. Okay. Gadi Prabhu, you read.
In the Naradiya Purana, there is a statement of, am I right?
186, na?
Yeah.
No, previous to that, Rupa Goswami's commentary now.
Okay.
Rupa Goswami says.
Okay. Srila Rupa Goswami describes one who is fit for becoming engaged in devotional service. He says that person who are neophytes and who have developed a little love of Godhead are not interested in the activities of sense gratification in proportion to their devotion. But if there is still some attraction for sense gratifying activities, then the result of such activities should be offered to Krishna. This is also called engagement in the service of the Lord, with the Lord as master and the worker as the servant. Shall I continue, Mataji?
So here, now, very weak faith, Komala Shraddha. Still, he is giving something. He is not much interested in sense gratification, but he has started giving. So it is considered as some of the aspect of das. Some aspect of dasya. Okay. Further, 187, that is. Hmm. 187. Dvitiyam yatha naradiye ihayasya harirtasye. You have to memorize this verse. Karmana manasa gira nikhila shapyavasthasu jivan muktasa uchyate. Just now we started in Nector of instruction this verse. Ihasya harirtasye karmana manasa gira nikhila shapyavasthasu jivan muktasa uchyate. Even in Bhagavad Gita, the quotation is there. So liberation, what is real liberation? Nikhila shapi avasthasu jivan mukta suchyate. In this life itself, you are liberated. If you have given everything to Krishna, iha yasya harer dasya, karmana, by your actions, manasa, by your mind, you have given everything to Lord. Karmana, manasa, gira, by your karmana, manasa, gira. Gira means by your words. You have given everything to Krishna. Then that is actually a real liberation within this life itself. That is why now the dasya is reaching the highest stage. It is not just giving your fruits of action. That is okay. In the starting stage, you are giving something to Lord. You just go flashback how you started your devotional service. You are giving something to Lord. Some days is to be selected for doing some worship, like some festivals, taking bath early in the morning. You feel that day is for Lord. That it totally is for Lord. At least some hours are for Lord. School days and all, anyhow, what I have to do. Lord is somewhere, I am doing my work. Then I went to college. There also I was not much interested. When I went to, then I started doing my job. Isn't it? Everybody does like that. I'm doing the job. Got married also. Doing the marriage is very sincerely, seriously, because he has to get married now. That time he offers something to the Lord. So like this and all, selecting some auspicious thing and giving, but still interested in his fruitive activities. Now there is a person who has got some small faith has entered in his mind. Now slowly his desire to enjoy the materialistic life is diminishing, is reducing. Started giving. So there is a difference between a person who gives with an interest to enjoy the materialistic life. There is a person who is giving just because he has now developed some small faith, not so strong, but some small faith. Now that comes in the category of dasya, small, that is considered as dasya. But what is the highest thing? Karmana manasaha gira is completely dedicated for Krishna. Then within this lifetime, nothing can bind him. He is not bound to anything. He is liberated. that is considered as the highest, where with his actions, with every word of his and his mind, continuously thinks of serving Krishna, how to serve Krishna, how to serve the Vaishnavas. Okay. Now 187, read.
Shall I continue? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
In the Naradiya Purana, there is a statement of how this servitorship is transcendental. It is said there that a person who is constantly engaged in devotional service by his body, mind, and words, or even a person who is not practically engaged but is simply desiring to be so, is considered to be liberated.
See how powerful words. A person who is not personally engaged but has a desire, like one may not be personally engaged to serve his Guru Maharaj, but he has a desire. So that is liberation, because his thought process is in service. So when your thoughts are in serving Lord, how nicely I can serve Lord. I can serve Lord only by serving my spiritual master. So in this way, the thought process is how to serve Lord, how to engage in the missionary activities, how to serve Srila Prabhupada. Then that is known as that is real dasya, taking up responsibilities, serving. That is dasya. Okay. Now, devotional service in friendship. So any doubts in the dasyam? Any doubts in dasyam? It started with what? Varnashrama. Everybody acquires certain status according to the previous life impressions. Then it starts with offering something to Lord. Now that offering has two types. How is the two types? One is offering with some desires. One is offering without any desire. And some is offering with strong faith. One is offering with weak faith. So one who offers with weak faith, it is considered as an aspect of devotion, of dasya. But choosing some auspicious activities and giving is not considered as limb of devotional service. You are choosing. Na? Limbs of devotional service means which is done everything for Krishna. You are not choosing. You are not given the opportunity to choose and give. Everything is done for Lord. So in this way, Rupa Goswami says, everything when it is given for Lord, that is dasyam. Jiva Goswami says, even if something is given with a weak faith, that also comes in the category of dasya. So both are right. Rupa Goswami includes Jiva Goswami's commentary also. Jiva Goswami's meaning of dasya. When you are offering Kainkeriam, naturally everything is offered. Now 188. अथ साख्यं विश्वासो मित्रवित्रिश्च साख्यं द्विविधम् iritam. Okay, previous to this, the words yasya hare dasya, that has to be put in the group to memorize. Okay, now 188 words. There are two types of sakhyam: trust and being friendly. Now here are also two types. There also it was two types. One is offering the results of the prescribed duties. Another category is offering menial service. Here also are two types. Vishwaso mitra vittischa sakhyam dvidham iritam. One is trust and being friendly. So Jiva Goswami's commentary says, first type is opinion of others. Second is the opinion of the author. So what is the meaning of the others? What they say, others what they say, trust. You give trust, that is, you trust a person, that is Sakhya. That is known as Sakhyam. Being friendly is according to the author, that is Rupa Goswami. Now here, Mitra means friendship in general. Okay. You read the first paragraph.
Devotional service in friendship. Devotional service in friendship can be divided into two categories. The first is to act as the confidential servant of the Lord. and the other is to act as the well-wisher of the Lord. The devotees who has confidence in the devotional service to the Lord systematically follows the rules and regulations with the faith that he will achieve the platform of transcendental life. The second type of devotional friendship is to become a well-wisher of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the Lord accepts a preacher as the most dear servant. Anyone who is preaching the confidential message of the Gita to the people in general is so dear to Krishna that no one can be equal to him in human society.
So now here, two types. First type is what? He is a confidential servant of the Lord. Other is, he is a well-wisher of the Lord. A confidential servant who has confidence, the devotee who has confidence in devotional service to the Lord, systematically follows the rules and regulations. Is confidential servant. So that is also Sakhya. That is also devotional service in Sakhya. Confidential servant of the Lord. That means he can speak to the Lord very nicely. And he now thinks Lord is now on the same platform. So he can guide Krishna. You do this, you do that. Like Sudama. They used to talk to Krishna like that. And one is, second type is what? Well-wisher of the Lord. Devotees, friendship, well-wisher of the Lord. That means what is he doing? He is preaching about Lord. So preachers come in the well-wishers of the Lord. So Lord says, I love the preachers very much. No one can equal him in human society. Bhagavad Gita speaks about it. Okay. So Sakhyam. Everybody cannot become the confidential servant of Krishna, confidential friend of Krishna. Confidential servant means where he has given himself to the devotee. So devotee can speak to him, devotee can talk to him. So that everybody cannot get that bhagya. But one can get the bhagya of being in the second category. Well-wisher, that means what? Always thinking of spreading the message of Krishna. That one can do. Okay, 189th verse. Mahabharata. What Mahabharata says. Tatradyamita Mahabharate Pratikya tava Govinda Name Bhakta Pralashyati Samsmrityah iti samsmrityah Pranan Samdharayami Aham. So Krishna says, go on remembering, oh Govinda, remembering again and again your promise that your devotees will never perish. I maintain my life. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Name Bhakta Pralashyati. Well-wishers of Lord are always protected by Krishna. So Krishna says, Name Bhakta Pralashyati. My devotees will never perish. So Mahabharata, it is said that I am just remembering this. The first type, the trust. I'm just remembering this word that you will always protect. Just by remembering this, I'm maintaining my life. So this is the first type. Trust has been described in Mahabharata. Okay. Confidential servants. They're always protected by Krishna. First type, trust. Here, trust has been given. Prabhupada's commentary there, it is said that the first type is they are confidential servants of the Lord. But if you see Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the first type is trust. Who will have trust? One who is confidential person only has trust. That is why Prabhupada describes it as confidential servants. Now, what trust they have? The trust is Krishna will never let me down. Draupadi has the trust. Name Bhakta Pralashyati. My Lord is there to protect me. That is why even if she is tried to be stripped naked, she just calls Krishna. And Krishna protects her. So that confidence or that trust a person has. That is why he is known as a confidential servant. That confidence he has. When you have confidence, then only you become confidential servant. Somebody asked me, Mataji, why don't you make a Committee. I said committee requires committed people, isn't it? In the same, you are not committed. You ask about committee. How can we make committee with uncommitted people or non-committed people? In the same way, how can a person have become a confidential servant if he doesn't have confidence? So that trust, that deep trust, my Krishna is there to protect me in all the circumstances. That makes him a confidential servant. Okay. Here Jiva Goswami says, this is the sentence of Draupadi. Draupadi says, oh Govinda, just by remembering your words, I maintain my life. Draupadi says this verse. Okay. Okay, read the second paragraph.
In Mahabharata, Draupadi says, my dear Govinda, your promise is that your devotee can never be vanquished. I believe in that statement, and therefore, in all kinds of tribulations, I simply remember your promise, and thus I live. The purport is that Draupadi and her 5 husbands, the Pandavas, were put into severe tribulations by their cousin brother Duryodhana, as well as by others. The tribulations were so severe that even Bhishmadeva, who was both a lifelong brahmachari and a great warrior, would sometimes shed tears thinking of them. He was always surprised that although the Pandavas were so righteous and Draupadi was practically the goddess of fortune, and although Krishna was their friend, still they had to undergo such severe tribulations. Through their, though their tribulations were not ordinary, Draupadi was not discouraged. She knew that because Krishna was their friend, ultimately they would be saved.
So Draupadi, she lost her 5 sons, Pandavas. So that is why it is said, Bhishma Pitama sometimes is to shed tears. What tribulations they have not suffered, but still they have that faith. Kunti Maharani says, why are you going? Just because you have given us the now the so-called happiness, we don't want. Let the difficulties come again and again. Vipada santuta shashva tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yatsata punarbhava darshanam. So let the difficulties come again and again, Krishna, you be with us. That levels are high. That is not a sadhana level, that is prema level. That is why Jiva Goswami writes, this is not at all a stage of sadhakas. As a sadhaka, we are afraid of all the miseries. We always tell to Krishna, please keep the miseries aside so that we can perform devotional service nicely. But a person who loves Krishna, he knows Krishna is there with them. That is why even if miseries come, they are not worried about miseries. So that is the confidence which they have, that much confidence. That is why they are confidential servants. That trust they have. What is a trust? That Krishna name bhakta pranashati, my devotees will never perish. In that purport in Bhagavad Gita. So what does not perishes? The love for Krishna doesn't perish. The love for Krishna always increases. Name bhakta pranashati. Devotional service doesn't perish. The eagerness to serve Krishna doesn't reduce. It increases day by day. So that is the qualification of a person in prema. Okay. Now 190th verse. तथा एकादशे 11.2.53 च त्रिभुवन विभवे हेतवेपि अकुण्ठा स्मृति अजितात्म सुरादिभे विमुक्त्यात् न चलति भगवत् पदारविन्दाय लव निमिषार्धम् अपि यः स Vaishnavagraha. Now trust in the Lord. Now that is also illustrated in 11th canto. The lotus field, you can read that because the same thing is given here. Read what is given in the 11th canto. Haribol, read. Gadi Prabhu, voice is not coming.
Yeah, sorry, Mataji, it was mute. A similar statement is there in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, second chapter, verse 53, where Havi, the son of King Rishabha, addresses Maharaja Nimi, my dear king, a person who never deviates even for a moment from engagement in service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Person, engagement which is sought even by great demigods like Indra, with firm conviction that there is nothing more worshipable or desirable than this, is called the first class devotee.
Okay. Not even for a single moment, let my mind be not deviated. Even in exchange for the benediction given by the Devatas. So that devotee is considered to be the best of Vaishnavas. Nice story comes, I'm not able to remember. One of the Alvar. Nice name. Not Tirumangai Alvar. One of the Alvar. He was first a strong bhakta of a strong upasaka of Shiva. But afterwards, he came to know that Krishna is the topmost. So he started worshipping Lord only. Anyhow, Alvar, na? So this is all just a Bhauma Leela. He starts worshipping so much that he is just absorbed in remembering Krishna. At that time, Shiva and Parvati, they are just crossing. And Parvati says, see, your staunch devotee is there. Let us go to him. So they go. He is doing his work. He was teaching something. And he knew that Shiva has come. But still he is just doing his worship. He is just remembering Krishna only. At that time, Shiva says, see, I have come. He says, okay, tell me what I can do for you. So you don't want any benediction? No, I don't want anything. Parvati says, how impudent he has become. Then he says, see, now I'm so absorbed in Krishna, I don't require you. And I know that whatever benedictions you are going to give, that is only temporary. The real benediction is given by Krishna only. Then Shiva gets very angry. He has to show some anger. He gets angry. He says, I'm going to open the third eye. He says, you can open. Doesn't matter. So when he sees that type of love in this Alvar, at that time, Shiva says, this is real devotion. Means he's not worried about the benediction given by the Devatas. At the same time, he's not afraid of the curses or the punishments given by the Devatas. He is just absorbed in serving Krishna, seeing that even the Devatas are also happy. More comes in that. Many conversations are there where he tells actually Lord Shiva, why don't you put this thread in the needle? What do you want? He says, anyhow, I'm trying to put this thread inside the needle. It's not coming. You can put if you want, you can put this thread inside the needle. Parvati gets angry. You're insulting Lord Shiva. So all these things, some dialogues are there. Nice. I'm not able to remember that Sandarbha. So a devotee is not bothered about the benedictions given by Devatas, nor they are bothered about the curses given by the Devatas, because they are so absorbed in serving Krishna that is enough for them. Okay, read 190.
Okay. See,
You have read, na? Yeah, you have read. Okay, now 191, 192. That
yes,
is there in that small paragraph that we'll finish first. 191, 192. Shraddha matrasya tadbhakta adhikaritva hetuta angatvam asya vishwasa visheshasya tu keshave. Then 190, 191. Okay. 191. The cause of qualification for bhakti is Shraddha alone. The particular element Vishwasa to Keshava may be considered an anga of that. So this is considered as anga, Vishwasa. One should have faith in Krishna. Now 192, that same paragraph 192 is also there. Dvitiyam yatha agastya samhitayam परिचर्या परः केचित् प्रासादेषु शेतरे शेरते मनुष्यम् इव तं द्रष्टुं व्यावहर्तुं च बन्धुवात्. The second type of friendship has been given. Second type of friendship. A person who is dedicated to serving the Lord and out of friendship sees and treats him as a human, like down, lies down in the Lord's temple. Okay, a person who is dedicated in serving Lord and out of friendship, he just treats Lord like human, and he also lies down in the temple. Okay, and you read that 191, 192.
Yeah. Sri Rupa Goswami says that a neophyte devotee who has simply developed a slight love of Godhead is certainly a prospective candidate for devotional service. When he becomes firmly fixed in such devotional service, that assured status becomes a confidential part of his devotional service. Sometimes it is found that a pure devotee lies down in the temple of the Lord.
Wait, that is 190. 191, 192. A small paragraph you read, na?
Yeah. You covered both the I think. Yeah.
No, but 194, 193 is also left.
Okay.
So what Rupa Goswami says, a neophyte devotee who has simply developed a slight love of Godhead
Yes.
is certainly a prospective candidate for devotion. Even slight love he has got. Now, till now, what we had spoken, that love has so much of trust that even though so many difficulties come, he doesn't give up. Here now, a slight love is there. Slight love for Krishna is there. Now, when he becomes firmly fixed by such devotional service, that what is given? That assured status becomes a confidential part of the devotion. Then that becomes a confidential part of the devotional service. What becomes the confidential part? That faith. That faith becomes one of the anga. First he has komala faith. Then his faith becomes stronger. Now this again it is at the level of sadhakas only, not at the level of prema bhakti. Prema bhakti till now we had spoken in the 3 paragraphs. Here what Rupa Goswami mentions is the weak faith. That weak faith slowly by performing other angas of devotional service takes up the strong faith. Now when the faith becomes strong, then that is included in the limbs of devotional service. Now 193. Raganuganugatasya syad vidhi marganapekshvat prekshatvat margadavyena chaitena sadhya sakhyaratir mata. So the best example should be classed as Raganuga sadhana because of disregard to Vaidhi sadhana. However, attraction for feeling of friendship is cultivated in both Raganuga and Vaidhi sadhana. Now let us see. What is Vaidhi sadhana? Performing the sadhana according to the rules and regulations. Now when a person crosses these rules and regulations and does spontaneously, he does his sadhana, spontaneously does his sadhana, then that is known as Raganuga sadhana. And in this way, Vaidhi sadhana and Raganuga sadhana, feelings of friendship can be cultivated. Oh, he's my friend. I should love him. He's my best friend. So Vaidhi sadhana also, that type of feelings can be cultivated. And in Raganuga sadhana also, the type of feelings can be cultivated. Okay, read.
Sometimes it is found that a pure devotee lies down in the temple of the Lord in order to serve him as a confidential friend. Such friendly behavior of a devotee may be accepted as raganuga or spontaneous. Although, according to regulatory principles, no one can lie down in the temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this spontaneous love of Godhead may be grouped under devotional service in friendship.
Now 194. Okay. Now surrendering everything to the Lord, samarpanam, everything to the Lord, naivedyam you can say. Atha atma nivedanam yatha ekadashe 11.29.34. Nivedanam. Martyo yata tyakta samasta karma niveditatma vichikirshito me तदामृतत्वं प्रतिपद्यमानो मयात्मा भूयाय च कल्पते वै. My name was Prabha, before marriage. During marriage, the Maharashtra, they changed the name. My Prabhuji kept my name as Nivedita. Here, when I saw this Nivedita, he has given to Lord. So, exactly after 2 years, we got ISKCON. And in this way, Samarpanam, Nivedita Atma, teacher. Let's see
Mataji,
how.
what is the meaning of Nivedita, Mataji?
Naivedyam, Arpanam, giving to Lord.
Achha, okay.
That is the meaning of Nivedita. Anyhow, okay, read the meaning.
Shall
What
I
has been
continue?
given? 1 minute. Now let us see this first. Offering the self, offering everything, offering the self. A person who gives up all prescribed activities and offers himself entirely unto me becomes the object of my special desire. It is said he achieves liberation from birth and death and is promoted to the status of sharing my own opulences. So he has given up everything. So who has given me everything entirely, he has given himself to me, and that person becomes the object of my special desire. He has offered the body to the Lord. He gives up all the activities for the pleasure of the Lord. Then Krishna considers him as good as himself. He becomes special in the eyes of Krishna. Okay. Dayasagar Prabhu, you read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Regarding complete self-surrender, there is a nice description in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 29th chapter, verse 34, where the Lord says, "A person who has completely surrendered unto me and has completely given up all other activities is protected by me personally, both in this life and in the next. In other words, I wish to help him because more and more advanced in spiritual life. Such a person is to be understood as having already achieved Shastri, having equal opulences with the Supreme. It is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that as soon as a person surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna takes charge of him and gives him a guarantee of protection from all sinful reactions. He also instructs from within so that the devotee may very quickly make advancement towards spiritual perfection.
Okay, now 195th. Atha 95. Artho द्विधात्मा शब्दस्य पंडितैः उपपायते देहि अन्तास्पदं कैश्चित् Dehakaishchin mamatvabhak. The learned say that Atma, which is mentioned in this verse, Atma, here refers to two meanings are there. Some say Atma means the soul, having the identity of I, while others say Atma means the body, since it belongs to the Lord. So what is the meaning here? That everything is surrendered. So here Atma, in the previous verse, what has been given? He has given himself. So what he is giving? He is giving himself refers to the soul and also to the body. Okay. So he has given, Jiva Goswami says, two meanings are there. He has given himself, he has given his body also. Okay, read further. Read.
Can I read, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Sorry.
Read.
Okay.
The self-surrender is
The
called
self-surrender is called Atmanivedana. According to different authorities, self is differently defined. Self is sometimes considered to refer to the spirit's self or soul, and self is sometimes considered to refer to the mind or to the body. Full self-surrender, therefore, means not only surrendering one's self as spirit soul, but also surrendering one's mind and body to the service of the Lord. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura has sung a nice song in this connection. While offering himself as a fully surrendered soul, he said, "My mind, my household affairs, my body, whatever is in my possession, my dear Lord, I offer to you for your service. Now you can do with them as you like. You are the supreme possessor of everything. So if you like, you can kill me, or if you like, you can give me protection. All authority belongs to you. I have nothing to claim as my own."
yes. Tatra dehi yatha yamunacharya stotre 49. Vapur adishu yopi kopi va gunato shasani yatha tatha vidaha tad ayam tava pada padmayor aham adyaiva maya samarpitaha. Offering the soul. Two things are there, no? Atma means soul or the body. Offering the soul is illustrated in the Stotra Ratnavali of Yamunacharya, in the Stotra of Yamunacharya. Whoever I may be, either a soul inhabiting the body and other material elements, or a deva or a human body made of gunas, today I offer that I to your lotus feet. I am offering that I, aham, to you. That has been given. That is told by Yamunacharya. Vapar adishu yo api ko apiva. Even though it may be in a human body or Devata's body, whoever this I am offering that I unto you. Okay, read further.
Sri Yamunacharya in his prayers to the Lord has expressed a similar idea in the following words. My dear Lord, I may be living within somebody or as a human being or as a demigod, but whatever mode of life I do not mind, because these bodies are simply byproducts of three modes of material nature, and I, who am in possession of these bodies, am surrendering myself unto you.
So I am giving I now. I am giving body now. Deha. Deho yatha bhakti viveke chintam kuryam na rakshayai कृतस्य यथा पशो तथार्पयन् हरौ देहं विरमेत् asya rakshanad. So offering the body as Atma, just as one does not worry about an animal that has been sold, one should offer this body to the Lord and not be interested in its maintenance. Now see, the highest thing is known as slavery. Now when you keep an animal in your house, the animal has given the body to the owner, not even thinking about how it is going to be maintained, just dependent on that maintainer. The same way, the devotee surrenders the body to the Lord. Whatever way Lord wants to maintain, let Lord maintain. Not even worried about the maintenance of the body. Okay. Anupama, if you are there, you can read. Anupama is there.
I'm here, Mataji, but now I have to leave. Sorry, because kids have come. I have to bring them somewhere. No.
Neeraj Prabhu, you
Thank you.
read.
Yes, Mataji. So, नहीं मैं यहाँ से जाता हूँ ना. Yes.
In the
Yes.
Hari Bhakti. You
Ah.
read.
In Hari Bhakti Viveka, there is a statement regarding how can one offer his body in self-surrender. There the devotee says, my dear Lord, as a souled animal has no need to think about his maintenance and sustenance. So because I have given up my body and soul unto you, I am no longer concerned with maintenance and sustenance. In other words, one should not bother about his personal or family maintenance or sustenance. If one is actually surrendered in body and soul, he should always remember that his only concern is to be engaged in the service of the Lord.
So Krishna knows how to maintain the body of Krishna, but the body of the devotee. That confidence should be there.
Should I continue, Mataji?
Wait. 198 now. 198. दुष्कर्त्वेन विरले द्वे सख्यात्मनिवेदने केषाञ्चिद् एव धीराणां लभते sadhanarhatam. Friendship and offering the self and body are rare because of the difficulty of execution during the state of sadhana. However, some wise men have considered that these two qualify as part of sadhana. So, friendship where trust is there, we just saw trust is there, and the second part is that he is a well-wisher, trust well-wisher, that is friendship. Now in the friendship and offering the self and body, they're actually very rare. Even being a well-wisher of Krishna is also very rare. Having trust for Krishna is also very rare. Offering oneself to Lord is also very rare. Offering the body to the Lord is also very rare. But they qualify to be the part of sadhana. Okay. Atma Nivedanam. So here Jiva Goswami says, in a pure form, it is very difficult, Atma Nivedanam, because it's not so easy to execute Atma Nivedanam. And it is said, it is considered to be very elevated. Even if a person is giving without bhava, still it is considered to be elevated. But there should be bhava. Without bhava, how it can give anything? Bhava is there, then only it can be given. So in this way, even Sakhya is very rare. That means friendship is also very rare. Atma Nivedanam, this word is also very rare, and this activity is also very rare. Bali Maharaj gave everything to Lord. Bali Maharaj not only gave the whole kingdom, everything, he gave himself to the Lord. So this type of Atma Nivedanam is very rare. So Sharanagati is the most rarest thing. You said samarpanam, that is also very rare. Krishna accepts, and he is accepting Krishna as the only protector. So Atma Nivedanam, when you say Sharanagati word, there Rakshis Yatati Vishwaso, Goptrutve Varnam Tatha. So Rakshis Yatati Vishwaso, Krishna is there to protect me. That trust is there. And then Goptrutve Varnam Tatha, he is my guardian. So that type of trust is there. He is there to protect me, he is my guardian. Even a well-wisher of Krishna has an understanding that Krishna is the guardian. Krishna is the only maintainer. So when that type of Sharanagati is there, or Samarpan is there, then slowly that friendship takes the mode of Atma Nivedanam. He gives himself to Krishna. Even in the sadhaka stage also, he gives I and mind, that is the body, to Krishna. And Atma Nivedanam is making oneself the possession of the Lord. So he becomes the property of Krishna. So Sakhya now ripens into Atma Nivedanam. The ripened form of Sakhyam is Atma Nivedanam. You can say that also. Okay, Atma Nivedanam has the emotions of Dasya. Now just see. Dasyam Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. We say, na? Dasyam Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. So what was there in Dasya? Giving all the fruits of his activities to Krishna. That is Dasya. Doing menial service to Krishna. Dasya. Sakhyam, having complete trust in Krishna and always being well-wisher of Krishna. Now what is Atma Nivedanam? Giving oneself to Krishna and body to Krishna. So this all can happen only from Dasyam. So Dasyam is a part of Atma Nivedanam. It cannot be separated. Emotions of Dasya is seen. What is the emotion of Dasya? Giving everything to Krishna. Emotions of Dasya is there in Atma Nivedanam. So these three things cannot be separated. Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. Okay. Okay, read.
So, Srila Rupa Goswami says that devotional service in friendship and devotional service in self-surrender are two difficult processes. Therefore, such relationship with the Lord can very rarely be seen. Only for the advanced devotees are these two processes easily executed. The purport is that it is very rare to see surrender that is mixed with sincere ecstatic devotion. One must give himself completely to the will of the Lord.
So here bhava is included. The dasyam is now with bhava, that, oh Lord, you are my husband. Oh Lord, I am giving myself to you. You are only my protector. You are only my husband. Please accept me as your wife. So in this way, even if you see Atma Nivedanam is Rukmani's prayer to Krishna. You are only my husband. I have chosen you as my husband. You take me as your wife. Accept me as your wife. In this way, this is Atma Nivedanam. Okay. Sakhyam, Dasyam, other rasas, they are mixed in Atma Nivedanam. Even in the bhava of Sakhya, one can surrender himself to Krishna. Even in the bhava of Dasya also, he can surrender to Krishna. Completely give everything to Krishna. Accept Krishna as the guardian. Accept Krishna as the protector. Accept Krishna that he is going to protect me in all the circumstances. Okay. Offering a favorite article to Krishna. Let us see. That is 199th verse. Favorite article to Krishna. Atha nija priyopaharanam yatha ekadashe 11th canto 11th chapter 41st verse. Yad yad ishtatam इष्टतमं लोके यच्चाति प्रियमात्मनः तन् निवेदयेन्मह्यं तद् आनन्त्याय kalpate. So offering articles dear to oneself, whatever is most desired by one within this material world, and whatever is most desired to oneself, and also and also dear to me, one should offer that very thing to me. Such an offering qualifies one for eternal life. So one should offer what is dear to the Lord. It may be dear to him also, but it should be dear to Lord also. So whatever is dear to Lord, just offer to Krishna. Okay, read. Continue.
Offering a favorite article. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th chapter, verse 41, Lord Krishna tells Uddhava, my dear friend, if someone offers me the best thing in his possession or anything which is very pleasing to him, he will be eternally benefited.
Now, performing all endeavors for Krishna. Everything should be done for Krishna. अथ तद् अर्थे अखिल चेष्टितं यथा पंचरात्रे लौकिकी वैदिकी वापि या क्रिया क्रियते मुने हरिं सेवानुकालैव सा कार्य भक्तिम् इच्छता. Making full efforts for the Lord. O sage, among all the Vedic and routine actions that are performed, the person desiring bhakti should perform those which are favorable for service of the Lord. So one should pray that whatever actions he is doing, he should do it for Krishna. And that too which is very dear to Krishna, which is favorable for his service. Okay, from here Narayana read.
Krishna. So, performing all endeavors for Krishna. In the Narada Pancharatra, there is a statement of how one can act in all spheres of life for the satisfaction of the Lord. It is stated there that a person who is actually in devotional service must be engaged in all kinds of activities, those prescribed in the revealed scriptures and also those which are accepted for livelihood. In other words, not only should a devotee engage himself in the prescribed duties of devotional service, which are mentioned in the revealed scriptures, but he should also perform the duties of his practical life in Krishna consciousness. For example, a devotee who has a great establishment or factory may offer the fruits of such a material possession for the service of the Lord.
Okay. Now, next is being a surrendered soul. 201. Atha शरणापतिः यथा हरिभक्ति विलासे तवास्मिति वदन् वाचा तथैव मनसा विदन् तस्थानम् आश्रितस्तन्वा मोदते शरणागतः. So accepting the Lord's protection. Surrendered soul means is accepting the Lord's possession. Sharanapati. From Hari Bhakti Vilas, he says, he who while saying, I am yours, I am yours. You are mine, only Radharani can say. I am yours, Rukmini also says. And she tells us also to tell that, I am yours. Tavasmi chitayachate. Avayam sarvada tasmai. So it is said in Ramayana, Sakrat eva prapanno yas tavasmi chitayachate. Avayam sarvada tasmai. Dadami etat vratam mama. Krishna has taken that vrata. Whoever says this, I am yours, he accepts the protection of the Lord. he feels that bliss. Krishna protects him. Every day you should tell this much. I am yours, O Krishna. You are mine. We cannot say. The only Radharani can say, you are mine. Very possessive. Radharani is very possessive. You are mine. I am yours, everybody can say. And we should say that. Then one can exist. One can feel that bliss. And Krishna says, I have taken a vrata. And what is that vrata? I am going to protect the devotee. Even Krishna takes a vow. Whoever tells this, Tava asmichita yachate, abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami etat vratam mama. I have taken that vrata. This is 201. Okay, read. Continue.
Being a surrendered soul. In the Hari Bhakti Vilas, there is the following statement about self-surrender. My dear Lord, a person who has surrendered himself unto you, who is in firm conviction that he is yours, and who actually acts in that way by his body, mind, and words, can actually relish transcendental bliss.
Shri Narsimhe cha tvam prapannosmi sharanam deva deva janardana iti ya sharanam praptastam kleshat udharamyaham. Now, in Narsimha Purana it stated, I deliver from suffering that person who takes shelter of me, saying, Lords of the Lord, exciter of all beings, I have taken you as my protector. Goptrutve Varnam Tatha. You are my guardian, you are my protector. Sharanam Prapannosmi. I have taken your shelter. Sharanam Praptaha. Then he attains Krishna. He attains Krishna. Sharanam. Okay, read.
In the Narsimha Purana, Lord Narsimhadev says, anyone who prays unto me and takes shelter from me becomes my ward, and I protect him always from all sorts of calamities.
Next is serving trees such as Tulasi. Tulasi is a tree. Trees such as Tulasi. Why is shaking so much? Atha tadiyanam sevanam tulasya yatha skandhe ya drishta nikila ghasanga shamani sprishta vapu pavani roganam abhivandita nirasani siktantaka trasini प्रत्यासति विधायिनी भगवतः कृष्णस्य संरोपिता न्यस्ता तच्चरणे मुक्तिफलदा तस्यै तुलस्यै नमः. So in this way, service to things related to Krishna, tadiya vastu, that is Tulasi. Seeing Tulasi destroys all sins. Touching her purifies the body. Bowing to her destroys all sufferings. Sprinkling her with water delivers one from death. Planting her bestows attachment to the mind to Krishna. Offering her to Krishna's lotus feet bestows special liberation in the form of prema. I offer my respects to Tulasi. It is said one should not walk on even the reflection on Tulasi. When the shadow of Tulasi falls, one should be very careful not to keep foot on the shadow of Tulasi. Because Tulasi is Krishna Preyasi. Because Tulasi removes all our sins. Okay. Ansrupi Prabhu, read. Ansrupi.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Serving trees such as the Tulasi. In the Skand Purana, there is a statement praising the Tulasi tree as follows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Tulsi tree, which can immediately vanquish volumes of sinful activity. Simply by seeing or touching this tree, one can become relieved from all distresses and diseases. Simply by offering obeisances to and pouring water on the Tulsi tree, one can become freed from the fear of being sent to the court of Yamaraja, the king of death who punishes the sinful. If someone sows a Tulsi tree somewhere, certainly he becomes devoted to the Lord Krishna. And when Tulsi leaves are offered in devotion at the lotus feet of Krishna, there is a full development of love of God.
Okay. Now 204, 205. Okay. तथा च तत्रैव दृष्टा स्पृष्टा तथा ध्याता कीर्तिता नमिता स्तुता रोपिता सेविता नित्यं पूजिता तुलसी शुभा नवधा तुलसी देवी ये भजन्ति दिने दिने युग कोटि सहस्राणि ते वसन्ति हरेर्गृहे. So Skanda Puran says, those who worship auspicious Tulsi daily by 9 processes, namely seeing, touching, meditating, glorifying, offering obeisances, praising, planting, serving, worshipping her, live in the house of Krishna for 10 billion yugas. Okay, read further.
In India, all Hindus, even those not belonging to the Vaishnava group, take special care of the Tulsi tree. Even in the great cities where it is very difficult to keep the Tulsi tree, people are to be found very carefully keeping this plant. They water it and offer obeisances to it because worship of the Tulsi tree is very important in devotional service.
Now any doubts you can ask. So here we have completed 11th chapter. We have more 8 chapters.
Last paragraph is left, Mataji.
Last paragraph, shall I read?
Read.
In the Skand Puran, there is
Mataji, that
another.
verse is left.
Hmm?
That verse is left.
205th
Drishta
verse,
Sprishta
yes.
Tatha Dhyata Kirtita Namita Suta.
I've done, na? Done. 205 tak we have finished, na?
No, we haven't read that verse. Tatha cha tatraiva. Drishta Sprishta Tatha Dhyata Kirtita Namita Suta.
Done.
Just now it is done.
So that
I've
explanation
read.
is left. Yeah, so that explanation is left.
Yeah, Skanda Puran. That only I told you. Read.
Explanation is left in this book.
Okay. So you have read the whole thing, na?
No, the last paragraph is left.
Okay,
Yeah,
read.
it's the same paragraph.
Read.
In the Skand Puran, there is another statement about Tulsi as follows. Tulsi is auspicious in all respects, simply by seeing, simply by touching, simply by remembering, simply by praying to, simply by bowing before, simply by hearing about, or simply by sowing this tree. There is always auspiciousness. Anyone who comes in touch with the Tulsi tree in the above mentioned ways lives eternally in the Vaikuntha world. Hare Krishna.
Okay, any doubts you can ask. More 8 chapters are left. 7 chapters, na? 19, 7, 12, 13. 8 chapters. Okay, no doubts. Stop the class here. Today our Naina Manjari is little fever. So she's sleeping early. Hare Krishna.